Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
You're back, baby.
Yeah,
Man,
we're
I
back.
left my drink upstairs.
We're reunited. Ah, shit. You ain't got your drink.
Hey, Katie.
Katie, who's not here, send one of the dogs. Okay. So
What's up, bud?
I kind of spilled the beans to you two in a pretty big fall comedy special update. And we didn't have a lot of time, like literally 3 minutes ago. But
Still processing.
yeah, and it seems like I hit you with a lot in a short amount of time, and I want to explain why I'm going to do what I'm doing more. And Ariel, don't say a thing, because I kind of spilled the beans to her. She jumped on the chat one night in my Twitch stream. I'll be on there tomorrow, twitch.tv/Justin98Rock. I might have had a spirit, and I might have told just her. Not everything, but something.
Gotcha.
The special that I'm going to be doing has a title. It's got a location. We're heading off to Ram's Head on stage this weekend in Annapolis. We would adore seeing you.
Yes.
The Answer is Murder. Saturday night. It's a comedy, murder, mystery, trivia night. And, I'm not trying to put together the biggest Fury Road looking caravan, but we're all going out.
Yeah, we're going out afterwards.
So come
it's going to be a party.
If you ever wanted to hang with us,
yeah,
that's the night.
This is
the night.
The ish. Come spend some time. What time does it start?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Right down there. The weather's supposed to be beautiful. Laugh, solve a murder, answer some questions. But I am meeting the people that are helping me do the special there. And I kind of need to pitch them the thing I told you about.
You've made it more complicated for them.
Way more complicated.
But it also, and
But
I know
think
we're
more
going to be
memorable.
super vague. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, hey, because you told me what you were inspired by, and I think you're saying I want to do something that people haven't seen before.
No one's done this.
But also no one has really done what you did at Magooby's a few weeks ago. That your, I don't know what you're calling that, your run
Entrance
through
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
just the show itself.
The show itself. People, I mean, hell, have you ever seen Jim Norton? He exposes some pretty hilarious childhood bullshit.
Yeah.
I've also come to realize that really was that night. God bless everybody that came out. That was a home game. That was a home game for your boy. Because I've had about 5 shows since.
Right.
And none of them have landed in the way that Magooby's one did. Now, they weren't as well packed. And obviously, every place you go to do a special, you're going to try and fill it to the brim.
That's also a home game.
Yeah, your special will be a home game.
It'll be a home game.
It's in the town in which you live. We're all going to be there. You know what I mean? We're going to laugh.
But I ran some material this past weekend in Winchester and was met with some okay.
Who was open?
What the fuck? A friend, Ryan Nazer.
Okay,
and
I know
another
Ryan.
Dude named Mike, whose name escapes me. He was great. He was funny. Shoemake showed up to the second
Mike
show.
Diesel?
Shout out. Diesel was not there. Too expensive. We were able to get Clay Miles.
Joke for 9 people.
Sorry.
I did it. I
cut.
started it.
Now we tried to get Frank Hong to MC.
Yes. Bird Night.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. So
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
So since
You
you're
did
not
the Bright Box in Winchester.
you're not going
Bright Box Winchester.
you're
Thank
not
love
going to
Bright Box.
use these jokes.
I'm going to use them, but
You got wiggle work. There's
I
work.
gotta make sure there's some fat to be trimmed.
I was going to say if you're not going to use them, I wanted to hear the premises, but I don't. Now I can't. I don't.
No,
wanna hear it.
you saw a lot of it. No, there was only 2 or 3 new bits. I took 90% of what you saw at Magooby's, and I'm trying to massage it and let me put this here and put that
Are
over
you trying
there.
to tighten it up? Or are you
Get
trying to
this
make
away.
it funnier? What
I'm trying to tighten it up.
Okay.
I'm trying some stuff. I have a lot of trouble self-editing. I have a tendency to pile on instead of cut and get gone, and I'm trying to be better about that. But I feel like I've given myself some breathing room with these things that I've told you about, but I'm going to be doing that'll be in this special.
Okay. So instead of it being you want to crush from start to finish.
I want to crush from start to finish, but I also
Now
want
you
there
have-
to be
right, I gotcha.
moments in this
Where
thing
people say, I've never seen that before.
that go, give me the remote, give me the remote. We got to rewind that.
But
We gotta make
those
sure I saw
moments are going to take time that would have lent itself to stand up.
Yeah.
Does that mean you believe you're going to have a stronger set because
Yes.
instead of having to occupy an hour,
Precisely.
you got 45 to 50 minutes.
And
Well, I think everyone's interest is peaked. So, and by the way, when you see some of the things, if you go to the special, you're not underselling the originality of it. It is something
It's
that
going to
I've
be
never heard of or seen before.
We deal with things in stand-up, and I don't even want to give away to who or what. Ariel, but
you know
that. By the way, I'm taking her and her husband to lunch on Juneteenth. So
Oh,
I
nice.
have to pay.
white
Absolutely.
guilt.
I have,
You have
to pay.
to. Yeah.
I'm going to take them
I'm really sorry,
wherever
guys.
they want to go.
Don't they eat free on Juneteenth?
And they had fucking better because I'm slapping plastic down. What do you want on your steak? Another
Where are
steak.
you taking them?
Wherever they feel like eating.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to go to the Capitol Grill and then head to Morton's for dessert.
Ariel says the reparations grill.
Yes. Jesus.
She just said reparations. I added grill, but could be a show title.
The reparations grill is so fucking
40
funny.
acres and a grill.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is really, really funny. But yeah, but watch if you haven't seen it, I consider Bo Burnham's Inside to be the greatest piece of art that came out of the pandemic.
Mhm.
It's fun. By the way, what's he been up to since?
He's got to be doing something,
Something,
right?
but I haven't-
Always seems like he's somebody who's always working on something, at least in his
Yeah,
head.
But I don't know what he's done since.
But he
that
might be
special.
doing something that you don't. For example, he wrote the movie 8th Grade, which was my favorite movie of that year. That was the
Yeah,
year
yeah.
that Movie Pass, the last year that you could just
Sorry
literally
to bring that up. Sorry that you brought that up. Sorry, Joe. Sorry.
use it the way that you're supposed to
Yeah.
use it, where you can just go to a movie's nonstop. Katie and I went to 40 movies that year, and my favorite movie was a movie written by Bo Burnham,
Mhm.
and he won the Screen Actors Guild Award for best.
Was that the middle
best
school
screenplay.
one?
Yeah, 8th Grade.
8th grade.
Yeah, love
Joe,
it.
yeah,
Joe
yeah.
gave me Movie Pass as a gift that I never used it.
Yeah. And then didn't it like go to the way of the dodo? Like they did.
It did.
It's my
became-
fault. I didn't.
It
use
became
enough.
something different. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, that I watched that special again, and I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't need to be 1 hour of setup, punchline,
Can be,
setup,
especially
punchline, setup.
because you're doing it yourself. It can literally be whatever
I
you
can
want.
do whatever I
Now,
feel like.
But
doing.
Winchester was not the
Winchester
the
show
home
one
game home run that you wanted it to
was
be.
great.
Mhm.
Show one was fun.
Mhm.
Show
Are
two,
you doing it down the room? We do it or upstairs room.
downstairs. Downstairs. It was also Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
So I had a nice thick crowd for the first one. There was about 17 people at the second show.
Okay.
It was
It's a late show,
you know what?
yeah.
Here, I even took a
I
picture.
just
I'd like to see
I'll be
that.
doing
Yeah.
it the end of June, the last Saturday of June.
But that's not your fault.
Mhm.
The second show of the
Yeah,
murder
I should
mystery
have
was.
a draw. Yeah, that was the entire.
Mm.
That's the entire crowd.
It's a late night.
Those
Did
two
you-
people work there.
Did you talk to each of them by name?
I'm
I
sure you
went
did.
table to table. I think I didn't get on stage for about 30 minutes. But a fun show, and I got to hear some stuff done, and I got to go ahead and flesh it all out. But the title's picked, location's good, and now my worry has been replaced by excitement and anticipation. I just know I have to actually cast some people, and I've got to pay a little bit more because I need some people to work on this thing with actual like graphical effects, which is going to be something I hadn't planned on. But I'm more excited for it now than I've been.
No, that's the key. I just want you to know that your jokes are amazing. So don't be afraid to just also, let the ingredients speak for themselves.
There will be.
You're
plenty
dealing
of
with a
those.
nice piece of meat here. You need a little salt and
wanna
pepper.
grill.
That's all you need.
Don't want to grill it too much.
Okay.
Don't want to.
Yes.
No A1.
Well
Get
done.
the, Keep the A1 off.
I'll keep. Yeah.
Yes.
You put Heinz 57 sauce anywhere near it, I'll slap your dumb hand. How was your weekend? With where were you on the road again?
San Antonio, never been there. The Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club.
You have the only selfies that don't make me want to snap my fucking phone in half, by the way. The only selfies I see, I go, nice.
Yeah.
That I don't want to take my phone and just bend it over the edge of a table.
I'm usually at some bar or somewhere.
There's like a
outside.
landmark behind you,
Yeah, yeah.
usually.
I
Some
try
cool
to-
part of town.
Try to get some cool things.
Yeah.
I'd never been there. And the club, they do all these little things that no one would really pay attention to except for the comic that I fucking love. Like,
An example.
well, okay, they have a dedicated parking spot they say for you. It's in
Oh,
this like
hell yeah.
mall,
Oh,
so
nice.
it's very
That's cool.
it's hard. Parking's hard to find.
What's the name of the club?
Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club.
Okay.
And they have, I always do our merch, which is my shirts, and he has some merch. And then I'm taking it out and I'm setting it up, and then I'm taking it down and bringing it back. No, here's the table. We'll help you set it up. I'm going to organize. We're going to leave it here all weekend. We'll hide it. Someone will be there the whole time.
God, that's nice.
God, I don't have to do this every
Because
love
there's
this shit back and
clubs.
forth.
I've
Yes.
worked a 20th of the clubs that you have,
Mhm.
but there were those ones that seemed like my merch was a burden to them.
Yes.
Where I'd bring them like, you
All
can go
right.
in that corner
They have
over
a
there.
perfect setup for it. It's
Yeah,
on the way
Be
to
near
the
the
table.
grease trap.
Everything's set up. Like the trivia show, we normally do that like on a Saturday matinee. It was the first show of the week, so I'm a little concerned. Normally we've gotten there and we explain things. We've run some sound and stuff, but since it was the first night, we hadn't a chance to do that. Everything's set up perfect. Same sound guy for every show.
Hell yeah.
Hate having to re-explain
CJ
every
Bernie.
time. Same green room server every single time. I hate that. Do we tip you at the end of Thursday night? We'll see you Friday. No, same guy every time. So all these little things, you don't have to keep meeting someone and know them. And then do I tip you after Thursday? Are you going to be your Saturday?
You
No,
establish a
fucking guy,
rapport
right?
all week.
And everything start on time. The trivia show, they paid us right after because we do 2 checks.
hell yeah.
Literally, it's like, wow, I've already gotten paid a lot for this weekend.
Should have left.
And we have, should have actually. So, and the crowds were fucking great and everything was just tip top. But I decided that I wanted to, you posted something on JSS. I think it was a topic about related to vacations, best vacation, how many vacations, something vacation related.
Yeah. About, do you feel guilty taking off work? Something
and it made me start thinking about, I don't really ever take any vacations. Like, and I'm just thinking about, then I go through my life. Like,
you just have unbooked weeks.
Yes. And then, but sometimes I'll stay. Like I've been, like we did the spring fling and for the radio station, but it's not a vacation, right?
Well, for someone that travels as much
Joe's
as
wedding's not a vacation.
No, that's a destination.
I went to Hawaii with Keckner and I stayed a few days, but I'm there with them. It's not a vacation. Same thing with Tommy Davis. It's not a vacation.
Yeah.
It's just you're expanding on. So I was thinking, like,
it's better than regular work, but it's not a vacation.
Right.
I got you.
And I started counting my life. I think I've been like 4 vacations in my entire life, adult life.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, but you think about your life though, that if I was you and
Joe does like 4 a year.
Yeah, you're constantly on the road.
Yes.
But Amelia's another person.
Yeah.
Amelia, the midday. She just got back from London. She's going to go to Peru later this year. She crushes vacations. But you travel so much. I know it's mostly domestically, but you travel to places for work that people would consider to be a vacation destination in some cases. So I could see where, in your case, a staycation might be something you'd want to do. One unbooked week. I'm going to stay. I'm going to golf. I'll hang out with friends. I think a vacation for you might be something big, like a Madrid or a New Zealand or a Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah, I mean, now it's probably golf related, but I feel
you should go to a PGA event, dude. Go to like a fucking Masters one.
No, that I would do. A sporting thing.
Yeah.
Something really like WrestleMania.
You have an inn you don't know about, by the way, with some green jacketed events.
Okay.
That someone that works at our place goes to and never misses. I mean, multiple people.
Okay.
Off air, I'll tell you, but you have an inn.
That would be a dream vacation.
To go.
Something like that. But I always get like nervous, or like I feel like if the vacation doesn't go well and I planned it, that I feel the stress already. Like that's why I don't like to do them for my birthday. I feel the stress of like
stress for the other people that go, or just if you're not enjoying it?
If I don't enjoy it, then I've wasted all this time. I could have been at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm always stressed. What if the restaurant isn't good? What if the fucking flight's bad? What if the weather's bad? Then I feel
but mathematically the likelihood of everything sucking isn't it's not likely. Okay, you might have one bad restaurant, but the next one will be great. This one museum you wanted to visit, kind of a letdown, but you found this awesome park.
Yeah, but it sounds like he's built that way, right? So I hear what you're saying, but if you're
it's
worried about that,
out about it going into
for me, that would never hit my radar. So Rob is already. That makes the vacation not enjoyable because you're going to stress out about that it potentially wouldn't be enjoyable.
I was more like Rob when I went to Japan. I was looking at weather reports like it's going to fucking rain 6 days.
Well, that was
out
also
of 9.
a dream lifetime trip for you.
But still, I was worried about like I hear this. I'm reading reviews of this restaurant I couldn't wait to go to. They don't look good. Oh, this temple I want to go to. It's only available in this part of and everything just sort of fell into place. I stressed like you, but enjoyed it like you.
Yeah, I don't. That's something. I get it. And I know a lot of people like that and it's interesting because you'd like to say, well, don't worry about that. But that's it's not that. It's you're built that way.
But I'm also the flip side is that I'm usually someone that just goes with the flow. Like the service was bad.
Now Steph is checking in and she likes to come to our Winchester events. Thank you again, Steph, for your kindness and support at Brightbox. She says golf events are boring unless you splurge for the expensive
I would
splurge.
I would splurge.
Get the VIP.
Now, I say all this to say I decided I'm in San Antonio. The club isn't downtown on the Riverwalk, but I'm going to stay an extra night. I'm going to stay on the Riverwalk. And I said, I'm going to be in Nashville next month. I'm doing the same thing. I'm staying an extra. I don't know where our hotel is there, but I'm going to stay right downtown somewhere. And then come Sunday, I'm like, God, I wish I was just going home. You know?
Right. Now, what were you doing? Good. You were going to Riverwalk because when you texted us, you were drunk, right?
Well, yeah.
So you were drunk and Justin was drunk.
Yes, okay. I was drunk. I went down to the Riverwalk. I didn't sleep well the night before. So then I decided like I wanted to get a nap so that I could just be up and have a night. But I was like, I can't go back to sleep. I check into the new place. It's nice. And then I decided, let's just go walk around and have a meal. And you could get a margarita on the street and just walk with it. And I'm surprised people don't fall in the river all the time. It's not a lot of room.
I bet they do.
Yeah,
I bet they fall in the river.
It's super hot, but I'm having a good time. And then, but now I'm like, okay, now I need that nap. So then I'm going to bed at like 7 p.m. to wake up at 9 p.m. But I want to go to the Howl at the Moon.
Oh yeah, the piano bar.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I end up going there, and I had a good time. I mean, you can't get a more. They don't just have piano; they have drums and guitar.
Right.
And everything.
Let me ask you about that, because I know we're not built exactly the same, but you're experiencing with no one else. You're going to
I'm
meet
by
people.
myself. Yeah.
You're going to meet people.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you who I met.
But Howl at the Moon isn't really a place where you can meet people.
No, you're
because music is playing.
It's
the
a
whole
little
time.
loud. It's kind of hard to talk.
Yes.
You're right.
So now I assume it was packed.
Yes.
You have the luxury of being the only person, so it's much easier for you to find a place to sit than it would be if you had a group with you. So that matters. But the last time I went to a piano bar, Kate Minzer's birthday, I remember there was a table there. I said to ask these people, if you mind if I set my drink there, and all they want to do is be my friend. And I had a group of 10 with me or whatever.
Well, I met those people when they were dudes. Okay, so
hell yeah.
So I'm not even talking to anybody. I'm just people watching.
Are you singing?
No, I'm enjoying. They played a Taylor Swift song, and I'm not like the big Swiftie, but I think I know most of their songs. Never heard the song in my life. Everyone's singing.
What volume are we talking about?
I guess it's me.
Like, is it loud enough to where you have to kind of do the this is a great song, or can you actually have a conversation
in between those two? It's not, and there's a little outside area too, but it was so fucking.
There's a club around here that when we do our June 1st show, The Answer Is Murder, Ramset on stage, right next door, Stan and Joe's. I can't go in there.
Too loud.
It's so fucking loud, and it's so crammed, and you have to talk to the person right here. I want nothing to do with it anymore. I've aged out of it. Now, a piano bar, there's a dueling piano bar in National Harbor.
I love those. Yeah,
place,
Bobby McKee's.
That place is awesome.
Love that.
So this place you're going to sounds cool. You could actually mix and mingle a little bit.
They played everything from Love Shack to fucking Snoop Dogg to some bluegrass shit to NXS to fucking Michael. I mean, you couldn't get Enter Sandman. I mean, everything they're playing, right?
Oh hell yeah!
And they were great. And so the one bar closes, she closes out. So I walk to the other bar, and they have these like sliding doors that I guess you can open or close depending on the weather. And I walk by this guy, and he says something about the door, and I don't know what he's saying, but
watch out for the screen.
I feel like he just wants to have a conversation with me. So so I'm like, okay, I guess we're talking now. And he's got a Sublime t-shirt on. He goes, yeah, I requested Sublime, and I never heard of the song before. And I'm like, well, good luck. And he goes, do you have any cool cars?
Wait, what?
Oh, so he obviously wants to talk about cars.
Right. And I'm like,
obviously autistic.
No, I have a Mazda 6.5. Oh, I got this Camaro. And I'm like, he's a good looking guy. And I'm like, why? You should be doing well. Like, how high can you count? Are you hitting on me? Are you weird? He was wearing like a trucker hat backwards, but he had on like tennis players' sweat wristbands.
He did,
which I'd never seen before, other than on a tennis court. Right?
All right, I'm starting to like this guy, by the way.
Okay. I'm like, all right. And then it's getting weird, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk over to this bar, and then
I'll come with you.
He does.
Oh no!
But he sees another guy with Sublime t-shirt, and they practically made out.
He breaks out with you,
right? Yeah. So then there's this other group, and I start talking to this one guy, and he mentions he used to live in Philly. I go, oh, I was just in Philly for WrestleMania. You would have thought, Justin, that I told him that I was in WrestleMania. like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
He's like, no way, really? Yeah. He's a huge wrestling fan.
I was supposed to come out, but Undertaker took my spot.
He kept telling his friends, dude, this guy was at WrestleMania. They couldn't have.
Yeah.
They couldn't care
that
guy. They're like, okay.
Did you show him pictures?
12? Yeah, I did show him
immediately. I'm showing a picture.
Picture Monday Night Raw.
That's me when Cena came out.
Fucking Instagram.
Did you show the video?
I showed a video. I did. I showed him all that shit. He's talking to me about like you talk about the new guy that does all the videos.
There's a strange.
Oh, it's so we were having this great conversation.
There's a strange group of men in a city I've never been to that all swear I'm gay.
Yeah, no.
This guy's friends.
I told him the CSI fucking comment. Yeah.
Oh, the KSI guy. Oh, the I Show Speed guy.
Yes, we had a great time.
I went with this dimwit.
And then the bar closed, and I never saw him again. But then the next day, and this is so dumb. Like, I have to do better now. I'd rather take an early flight than sit around all day.
I gotcha.
So I forgot to hit the late checkout. So I have a noon checkout. It's a 5:45 flight. You can walk around, but it's 105 degrees.
Right.
So I'm like, I just gotta sit here, and then I go to the airport, sit there for 4 fucking hours,
right.
and the flight's delayed. It was like delay, like they're literally boarding. Like, we're starting now. Run up in A through 30. All right, pre-boarders. Wait, hold on a second. And then because all the planes got backed up from the weather.
So
there was no gates available in BWI.
Oh shit.
So the people on the plane had to get off.
Yes, we literally okay.
Is there anything worse than deboarding?
Right. I literally texted Twan, like, hey, I'm about to board. Then nope. Oops. Jinx that. So I get home at 30 p.m. and I'm like, I could have just got home Sunday morning.
Your day's completely boned.
It's a whole entire day. And then I went on the because I hadn't bought my hotel yet for Nashville, and I had moved my flight because the gig in Sunday night. I had a Monday night flight, and I moved it to Tuesday. Thinking I would get a Monday night hotel, I moved it back to Monday. I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna get home."
Hey, speaking of clubs in the South, have you and Keckner got anything on the docket or discussed the Comedy Mothership in Austin, Texas? Have you done that yet?
We've done Austin. We're doing it again in December.
This is Rogan's club.
Yeah, we've never done that. We're doing the Cap City.
I had my friend, one of the first headliners I ever worked for. I think I'm going to be doing a show with him again.
Kill Tony there.
With Chad Daniels this October, and Mudge and her mom went to Austin. They went to Austin, Houston, and Dallas, and they were running out of stuff to do. And I was like, I know some clubs around there. I looked, Chad Daniels is on the bill. I go, hey, my girlfriend and her mom are in town. I was like, let me get him comps, whatever. And they go in and they get copper bagged, the thing where you have to put your cell phone in and all that, because it's like a lot of headliners go there and try out new stuff, and they're not trying to have like bits leak and whatever. I've heard this from other people, but this is coming from civilians. They say it's the nicest fucking comedy
I've heard
club
the same
on
thing.
planet Earth.
Yes.
The amount of money they pay MCs, features is 2 to 3 times more than anybody else.
Here in the green room, there's a video of the show, and then it says how much time they have left. So if you're up next, you're good to run. Yes.
That Rogan and his crew thought of everything.
Yes.
Like, what do we hate?
It also
about
seems like a little bit of a give back, right?
Yeah.
They might be not making the kind of money that a lot of clubs do because Rogan is worth what? Right?
$500 million right now.
So yeah, I think that is a little bit of a give back. And hey man,
he's built a comedy Valhalla, and good on him for doing it. But she's been to only the comedy clubs I've ever taken her to, and some good ones: Magoobies, DC Improv, Arlington Cinema Draft House. She's like, this shit was Disney.
I'll be there with Doug Benson next Thursday. Hey, real quick, last thing on Texas.
Yeah.
And maybe this is new, or maybe I didn't try to do this last time I was in Texas, but if you go onto a porn site, they have an age verification thing now.
Dude, they're doing
it. What do you mean verification?
No, Rob, I've seen it.
You have to prove how old you are.
Hold on.
How?
I didn't go through the steps because
you have to present an ID. I'll show you.
I did Plan B. I went to Ariel's Instagram. But hey, girl.
There it is.
Yeah, you have to do this whole age thing.
You now need to on Pornhub.com. You can somehow access it via your laptop, MacBook, desktop. You try and do it on a phone, you have to go through a process.
So if you hit that, it doesn't take you right in there. You gotta do it. Okay, that does.
Hey, actually, I forgot. Wow. I did go through the process.
I would say maybe that has to do with where he is, your IP address.
It said something about Texas.
Yeah.
I was on their Wi-Fi, so
because
I guess they would know.
So can I ask? And I know we're up against a break, but
we haven't taken a break yet.
Here's the thing: why you're staying in San Antonio?
Oh God, it's Tim.
And then you're just going to bars. Like, why aren't you going like the Alamo? Like, why aren't you going?
Well, I went to the Riverwalk.
Is that like but isn't that like just a bar area that's?
Well, yeah, they have this river that have a bunch of bars, and restaurants,
and it's like 2 levels, right?
Yeah. So I stayed at a hotel on the Riverwalk.
Yeah,
I walked through the Riverwalk.
I'm not just shitting on you, but
everyone says the Riverwalk. That's what I was going
I got
to.
you. You're going there because people say that's the thing to go to.
I know there's the Alamo there, and I saw that, but I don't really care.
I hear the Alamo's fucking whack. I hear it's like the size of this basement. You see it, you're like, all right, it's fucking Alamo. Hey, look, there's a Chipotle, and you move right on.
What I should have done is during one of the afternoons when I was working, just went down to the Riverwalk, had lunch down there, say I saw it, check that box, and then went home on Sunday.
We have something special planned. Rob picked a date. We talked about doing it. I swear on my son's tiny hairless ass, we will do a live show one day. Patreon Palooza is in the books now. We have got a date. It's going to be July 11th. Rob said it better than anybody. Easy to remember. 7-11, 7-11, 7-11. It is going to be every single Patreon show you know you love all in one day. We're going to get this bitch started early. We'll take it into the night.
Brand new releases of all our shows.
Everything.
Plus all kinds of extra shows,
Some
extra
bonuses,
goodies,
man.
shows we've never done before.
Tell them about the one you two haven't done in a while.
We are going to bring back Lock It Up, our sports
yeah.
betting thing. This is in July. It's early. It's football season right around the corner at that point. Maybe we'll do some Ravens bets.
Sure, we'll do some futures.
We'll talk about
some
all
MLB.
kinds of things.
I might jump on, give you a UFC bet or something like that.
Yeah.
Dork Dynasty, Last Count Anywhere, DLP, Patreon, Story Time. There'll be another Dumbcast, myself, Stamboni. A new one that if you listen to last episode that Katie so beautifully filled in on, it's being called, what are you calling it for now?
Well,
let's hold on. Let's get to that before.
We'll get into that.
But like, this is, if you are already a subscriber, thank you.
Thank you.
This is a thank you to you. But also, we want to get new subscribers. So just for $5 a month, you're going to be able to you already get every back episode we've ever done.
Yeah.
But we're hoping this will encourage some new subscribers. You can be part of the DLP.
We are going to
DL people
gangbang you that day with 8 to 9 episodes. I'm even pitching an idea at the end of it. We do a big DLP family dinner, stream that thing. Everybody down here.
So maybe some funny photos, poll questions, all kinds of different
interactive rotate things. In and out. Some of these I would like to be free and streamed on YouTube that day. Maybe there'll be a schedule. A lot of it will be behind the paywall, but I do have free options that day. You will get the regular episode that week, by the way. We're 2 days before on the 9th. We'll still do it. But yes, please save that date, July 11th, for the DLP Patreon Palooza. It is going to be an all-day hilarious affair.
The podcast that Katie and I discussed on the last episode. It was an idea that Katie had after having watched the Usual Suspects about recasting it because she didn't like the Gabriel Byrne character.
There's no way she knew it was him.
I know.
Hey,
there's no way.
That's discussed.
I've never met a person, and she's brilliant. She's fucking.
By the way, we need to make that a clip as well.
Turn
that into a reel.
Yeah. I'm listening
so Katie
in the
can
car,
get on for one.
slapping my hand on the counter, going, she's either the most brilliant person since Stephen Hawkins, minus all stuff on the island, or maybe now, did she watch the full episode?
Hawkins or Hawkins?
Hawkins. Yeah. Hawkins. Excuse me. Hawkins was a drummer.
Yeah.
Just to refresh, because I was kind of listening to the episode.
So what happens, and I'll tell it quickly,
because the full movie or just watch clips.
We recap this on the podcast too, but very quickly she finds out during the documentary for Kevin Spacey that he was in fact Kaiser Sose, a role in which he won the Oscar for. Yeah. I paused the documentary so we can then watch The Usual Suspects. She watched it and goes, "How did you not know? How did you not know? It was so obvious." I go, "Well, no, you knew, right? If you watch The Sixth Sense knowing that Bruce Willis is dead,
yes, you can
all that stuff makes sense.
Right, then it
but if you don't know, then you can't wrap your head around. Nobody could, right?" She goes, "I think there are a lot of people." I go, "No, there aren't a lot of people because you're not trying to figure out who Kaiser Sose is. You just think Kaiser Sose is Kaiser Sose.
I think he's a guy out there. Now, I'm watching the film wondering, I wonder if Kaiser Sose is going to show up and clean house.
Of course, yes. Not until the end is it even suggested that Kaiser Sose could have been Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah.
It's only suggested at the very end that it even could have been somebody else. So anyway, she swears that could have been the case.
Movie watching on YouTube reaction videos of like just clips, people watching that scene in that video and going, "Oh my God, he's walking straight." Yeah. Meanwhile, Katie's doing her nails.
I knew that.
Now I called this thing the Recastaway. She hates it. She doesn't like it. So that's not going to be the name. She wanted to call it the DLP Cast Recast. Rob doesn't like that name. So it's going to go up as something.
You don't have great posture. I thought about calling it the casting slouch.
Well, that's for sure.
Somebody we had the Be Kind recast that was on the chat last week.
Right.
We had the recasting couch. I think that was Brittany had that. The DLP, because I'm thinking how to make money off this. If it's something that we would do as a free show and then have a part 2 as the Patreon.
Well, right now I would like it
to have a name that makes sense to people.
Right. I don't
have never heard of us.
Okay? So there are people that know what it is based on the name.
Like if I turn on Spotify and I just I type in crypto, there's a bunch of podcasts, the Crypto Chat, the Ethereum Boys, Bitcoin Buddies. I know this is a podcast about blank.
But this is too niche. You would have to read the description. I mean, I guess we could call it the podcast where we recast old movies.
Well, recasting couch. I mean, recast. People know what that means.
Yeah, they do. Recast is on it.
Recast. I think.
Well, I don't know why the DLP is.
We're keeping it in the brand DLP cast podcast, and it has a good flow to it. DLP cast recast. But I'm not defending that name. I'm just saying,
you like it? Were you allowed to express?
I know. Believe me. Listen, that's the one thing about this, and we'll talk about that. This podcast, you
recorded one.
We recorded one. It's going to be out. It's going to be released.
When should I put it out?
You can put it out immediately.
Really? Wow, we got a bonus. Hell
yeah.
We'll put it out tomorrow.
Put it out with bonus. It'll be put out tomorrow.
We do owe people a new Laughs Count Anywhere.
Oh,
by the
Brittany
way.
has the recasting agenda.
I like it.
The recast agenda kind of stay on brand.
So we, in order you give your opinion, and what do I just agree with you, right? And also some of the ideas are shit. You follow what I'm saying?
Did you have some real arguments?
We're really arguing.
Can you tell us?
Right, we're really arguing.
Any kind of tease that giving away too much. I want people.
What movie did you?
What was the movie that caused the argument?
I can tell that because here's what and this will be in there too, but I'll just give a little bit. The movie that we did was The Big Lebowski. It's Katie's favorite movie.
Okay. And the idea is that if this movie was made today, who would be in it if it was made today, and who if you recast it back when it was made then? Contemporary for
it's a then and it's a now,
right?
Okay, and the roles that we recast, if you
a little bit of work,
it was work.
Yeah,
it was work.
Because you're using actors from it came out in 1998.
98, 25 years old.
So you have to cast people from 1998 popular,
and you also want to get it around
2024 popular,
around the age of the characters themselves, right?
Yeah,
so Philip Seymour Hoffman, for example, we recast him as Brant. He was 31.
Okay.
Tara Reid, who's in it, is 22, right? So you have to get somebody who is around that age because that's what makes it so. Because think about this. Tara Reid is the wife of the old Lebowski in the wheelchair, right? So she has to not just be a hot, young, very young person, but she also has to be kind of sexual. So you can't just have a random character. People knew who Tara Reid was, right? And so, that's all that is taken into consideration, right? Whether or not, like, for example,
Tia Tequila.
Well, let me give the characters that we did, and then I'm not going to reveal too much else.
Okay.
We obviously did the dude.
Okay.
We do Walter. We do Donnie by the great Steve Buscemi. We do Maude, Julianne Moore, right? Probably maybe
Lebowski.
right?
Both
Jesus.
Lebowskis?
No, we don't do the older Lebowski. We do we do the Jesus.
Yeah.
We do Brant. We do Bunny, and we do the Stranger.
Now, did you do it like they do it today? Was everybody black, or did you?
Everyone was black.
Yes.
Everyone was.
So how about
black and gay?
Here's a question.
They're all great at everything.
There's 16 total. So there's 8 roles then and now. So we each are doing 16.
Now, can we pick who did better? Is that
you can pick who did better by and that's something we'll have to put up poll wise, but and maybe the comments will say who did better. You'll say who did better for each individual character, but 2 times we picked the exact same person.
There you go.
Which is pretty incredible considering we have every actor in the history of mankind to choose from.
Did you get into some real arguments?
You get into real arguments.
Real-ass arguments.
And this is the problem. These arguments can't spill over into my
real life.
Well, that's the thing. We're down here. You're if you say something that's ridiculous, which some of it is, and she thinks that some of mine are ridiculous, right? And then we say, well, that's ridiculous, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, wait a minute, you take it personally, and all of a sudden you're really fighting,
so
and then we turn the mics off and we go upstairs
and continue to fight.
That's right.
Oh, that sucks. I don't want that. I don't want that.
We're gonna keep.
This has got to be fun. Okay.
Justin and I guessed some bad guesses, and you tell us if Katie's most ridiculous cast was more or less ridiculous.
She will say that mine are more ridiculous.
Okay.
I have a ridiculous Walter.
This is for then or now?
This is for now.
Okay.
Jelly Roll.
Well, we don't know if Jelly Roll can act. By the way, this is something good because if we had you as a guest on the podcast and you said Jelly Roll, you'd take issue with it.
Where does that rank in the ridiculousness?
You don't know Jelly Roll.
He seems pretty talented. I bet he can act. I don't know if he has.
I bet you're right because he is a performer.
But he's a big, large, intimidating character. You cover up the facial tattoos. You put the vest on him. You put on those orange, blue
I know what you're
glasses.
saying.
I have the answer.
Okay.
Good.
Tim Dillon.
Tim Dillon as
Shit, that's a
Walter.
good
Yes.
pick. That's a
So
good pick.
you know, I think I told you who my Walter was. I don't want to give it away,
Yes.
but it's a very similar thing to what you
Right,
did. And
except
I
worse.
saw Tim Dillon in a in a horror movie. We was
Yeah.
in that one where they're in the Walmart area or whatever. Did you see that?
No.
Tim Dillon's actually is in. I've seen him act. This guy that I picked, and I'm not going to say I've seen act recently. He's hilarious.
Okay.
But the other thing about those guys is a lot of what they did was improv. A lot of it was. So they have to be able to do that. So
The Big Lebowski, there was improv?
a lot of it was.
Really? I didn't know
a lot of it was them just riffing and stuff like that, where you know you get a
Okay.
feel for it or whatever.
Sam Elliott, 1998. Would you have a Clint Eastwood?
Well, I don't want to
Yeah.
say.
Okay, yeah.
By the way,
How about today, David Keckner?
Clint Eastwood, David
Oh,
Keckner would have
yeah.
been great as the stranger, right?
Yeah.
Because he's worn a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the stranger, the very first person that we guessed, which was the stranger then, was the same.
Same
Now,
act. Oh,
same
okay.
actor.
This will be
Yeah.
up this week.
did
Hell yeah.
you
Hey, I'm going to type it up here just to get a
Type it up.
reaction from
Okay.
them.
This is
You-
the stranger.
did you replace the Eagles as the band that they get mad at? He gets mad at.
Okay, so we both said that.
That's a good cast.
We both had-
strong.
We
That's
both
a
said
great
that.
casting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Who do you
now-
have instead of the Eagles? Do you keep the Eagles?
Oh, you mean you put a different band in
Yeah,
there?
different band.
Because today they wouldn't be listening to the Eagles.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
too.
It would be less likely. Okay.
I hate Pearl Jam.
Yeah, what
Man,
band?
you two's not bad, and that's
Yeah.
because that they're both super famous bands.
Yeah.
and even at the time of the Lebowski, the Eagles weren't. They
You're
were
right,
still
they were-
more classic.
But they were
Right,
because
right.
the last Eagles album was what,
Right.
80, the long run or whatever. So yeah, it was.
That's a fair contemporary.
Yeah, it
in
would
terms-
work.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you watch the spin-off series with
the
Jesus?
Jesus. We talk a little bit about that. We
Mhm.
neither one of us saw it, but I know it was universally panned.
Yeah, they said it was
Right.
awful. I never watched it. I don't know.
So that's one of the things we do talk about, and I don't want to say too much of the same stuff on this show that we do on that. But
Okay.
one of the things you got to remember about that is that it's also perfectly cast.
Yeah.
You follow? And that's going to happen a lot because we're talking about the greatest movies and we're not going to do, although here's something.
You've got your classics.
So Katie, she's like, well, we have to do some chick movies.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
She's all that.
She goes, let's do you've got mail. I go, that's the first movie that you think of when you
She's
think
an
of
old soul.
you think of a,
She's
I
an
know,
I
but
do
old
Love
soul.
Actually because there's so many people.
we talked about Love
Yeah.
Actually. We talked about A League of Their Own. We've talked
Yeah.
about that, but she jumped
Steel
on me.
Magnolias.
That's one of the fights we had. Steel Magnolias. I'd have to watch that for the first time in order
What?
to.
Steel Magnolias is great.
I've never
Boogie
seen it.
Nights.
Boogie Nights would be great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Pulp
yeah.
Fiction, easy
We've
one.
already-
Oh yeah.
When the movies that you're saying right now, at the very, very end, we have a bowl that has the names of all the next movies we have. We have about 50 movies in there that
Yeah.
we would do.
All right, so we'll
And so we
put-
drew it out at the end and we picked our next movie. We do that at the end of each show.
Love it. We'll post it on Patreon. We'll figure out a name. We'll get Robin to make a flyer or a logo for it. And then we'll have we'll have a poll question. Who had the better cast then and the better
Right.
cast now, Joe or Katie? Look, and people are going to want to pick Katie, obviously, to pick against you. But you know what? Just pick the best cast.
You know what?
It's a better poll question. If
Here's
we try
what
to
you
be
do.
real about
Here's
it.
exactly what you do. You have the two groups. Do you like Group A?
Well, they're going to
Group
listen
B?
first, I'm assuming.
Have them up there without saying whose they are. Some people
Well, you
just
can't,
see.
right? Oh, you mean before they
Have
listen to
the-
the show?
Have the polls up
Right.
and then release the episode so you can see the groups of recast.
Well, I don't want them to see. I want them to listen to the episode and not know what's
because they're going to go
said.
Katie just to be contrarians.
That's
The
okay.
same
I'm
way-
fine with it. I'm fine. I'm
It's
fine with
okay.
it.
The same
I'm
way
fine with it.
I did with the Parpadelli and peas.
But let me say this. Hey, you have trouble
Max
saying
says-
it too, Parpadelli.
Parpadelli.
Max says, can $50 Patreon members get multiple votes?
Is it
Yes.
No, yes, you can.
Parpadelli or Purpadelli?
Well, however, I can't
It's
say it.
pop. It's P-A-P,
Papadelli?
right?
Popper,
P-A-P-A-R.
I'm not saying it
Papardelli.
in some dumb fuck Italian accent either.
It doesn't
all right?
matter.
All right, unless you're
But
from
anyway,
Sicily,
check it
pipe
out.
down.
We did have fun doing it. I'm joking. We're not. It's we can handle
Well,
it.
she's not here tonight. That's all I know.
But we
showed up.
do
She's
have-
always here now. She's
We
not
are
here.
legitimately fighting with one another during this.
Hell yeah, dude, that's gonna
All right.
rule.
We should do one with all four of us too. So we'll think about that again.
It requires work, just so
Yes.
you'll know. It does
Okay.
require work.
It sounds like
Justin and
we're-
I will just wing it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll shoot from the hip. Yeah, you know me, Mr. Prep.
Here's the thing, like really good at those, and sometimes I'm like, I can't. Like I was trying to think of the name Michael Caine. It couldn't. There's so many actors swirling around in your head that you can't.
Some people just want to watch the world burn. Master
Hey,
Wayne.
Hackman has a good name for the show, Mr. and Mrs. Recast.
That's
Okay,
not bad either.
all right, I like it.
Okay, I mean, you do love to prep. I mean, God knows all the prep you do for pregame. Yeah, listen to the Patreon.
Yeah.
Hey, is this a podcast you think Frank Bush would listen to? You think Frank would like it?
Frank doesn't listen to any of them.
Thank God.
Not a fan of any of your work.
You know, it's funny you say because Frank
actually, a little tease for the Patreon. Well, he'll now be listening to the Ravens post game this season.
yeah, he loves it now.
Yeah, it's great now.
Frank,
just add Barry in. He'd love it even more.
Frank, he is a contrarian.
Okay.
Okay. He doesn't. If you say you like something, he's kind of predisposed to not like it.
Yeah.
To try to find holes in it or whatever. And so her week was movie night on, I think it was Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night we did movie night. We brought her nephews over. So it was me, Katie, her nephews, Frank and Chris, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law.
Yeah.
And we're watching School of Rock.
Jack Black, classic.
Okay. School of Rock. We're watching it. He's trying not to like it. Hey,
you got to make an effort to not like that movie.
He's trying. He can't do it.
Because it's a great
movie.
He can't
do it.
He
can't do it. He can't.
Like it, yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. That franchise of actual schools, did they spawn from the popularity of that movie?
They did.
It began a movement for children and music and
which is a good
rock.
thing.
It's incredible. It wasn't just a great movie. It caused like cultural change.
Yeah.
That's something
and he was trying to not like it.
That we can't recast either because
It's
all of those
how many kids actors do you know?
All those kids, yeah. All those kids are musicians. So he said, I'm going to have musicians and then we'll just shove them in here. So the kid who plays the piano, who can't act at all, he's an amazing piano player.
Yeah.
The girl that plays the bass, who has 2 lines, because she's an incredible bass player. The girls that sing that can't act because they're great singers.
It's a fun movie to recast. Johnny Knoxville's The Ringer.
So anybody who's been to my house knows that right before you get to my house, if you look to your right, there's billionaires that live there.
Yeah.
Okay. There are these mansions. These mansions. There's 3 of them, but there's even more if you go back. That are my house is not a mansion, but my neighbors have mansions.
Yeah,
they do.
They
I
have
don't
a
know.
huge, several acres, a long driveway,
Huge,
yeah.
and
gates,
and
yes.
and it's landscaped meticulously.
Right.
And there's
The help greets you.
Yeah.
yes.
You
There's
enter
one,
the east or west wing of the home.
one is gated. You have to get the gates have to open in order to let you in. Well, the house, the one of these mansions was being built when my house was being built. Okay, the one that's closest to us, and it took about another 1.5 years for their house to be finished. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
And when they finally moved in, what do I see running down the halfway down, which is still way, way far away, is a golden retriever.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I'm like, they have a golden retriever.
They're just like us.
This is my inn.
Are we the same?
We're in the
Yes.
same dog bracket.
And I'm like, now I have an inn. I'm
Yes.
gonna when next time I see them out with a golden retriever, I'm gonna walk up this driveway.
I'm gonna steal their goddamn
Katie
identity.
goes, you can't walk up their driveway.
Watch me.
It's not like I go, well, think about the distance between the road and their house. They're halfway down. They're not near their door. They're halfway down. Katie's like, you can't do it. Don't do that. They're going to be put upon. They're going to feel uncomfortable. I go, no. I'm going to charm them. I'm 100% going to charm them.
This seems tough.
If I saw them in public, I'm walking right up to them.
I don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
I have to go meet them. Okay. So I want to say, hey, I'm your neighbor. I'd never had an opportunity to
You're
meet
going to
you.
show up with the dogs.
No, because only if I just had Olive, and I never just walk Olive. Oscar's not
Okay.
going to be cool with another dog.
Okay.
So
You're going to just walk up.
I was going to walk up and say, hey, guys, I'm your neighbor. I
We're
wanted
the
to say hi.
same.
I want to say hi. I'm your neighbor. I haven't had an opportunity to meet you. I saw you guys have a golden retriever. We have 2. Oh, I've seen you walk them. I have a golden retriever mailbox. I swear we're not tacky. That was given to us by a realtor as a joke. I have whatever.
You have a whole bit plan.
Whatever, right? We have
Right.
a real conversation. I befriend these guys. They have boats. They have pools. They have everything that you want to have in a friend.
And that's when the realization suddenly sets in. This was the guy that tried to kidnap Katie.
So I always said, I'm going to do that. Katie's literally told me that, no, you're not going to do that. You're not allowed to do that. One day, this lady, she came down and she saw Katie. She was getting ready to run. She's a runner. She sees Katie.
Again, more things in common with you, Joe.
She goes, "Oh my God, yes, I'm a walker." She runs. She sees Katie. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I've seen your Goldens.
Nice.
They're beautiful." She starts having a conversation with her. She gets her name. They talk. They're having conversations about my husband and she talked about the story about how Olive bit the molding on right in front of her, and how my husband thinks that's adorable and it pisses me off. And she goes, "Oh my God, I would have loved that. My husband would have been mad."
Classic.
They're having conversations. I'm like, okay, we got it.
You got the in.
We're in. We're in. We're
in
gonna
a
do
way
this.
you didn't expect.
It looks
you thought
like
it was going to be you that broke the seal,
but she did, and really the lady did.
You have a young, attractive daughter. I have a young, attractive daughter. Wait, she's who?
So anyway, while that happens, she comes back. She tells me, I'm like, all right, next time I see this lady, I'm going to go, "Hey, you talk to my wife. I'm the husband. I know it's hard to believe." And, and have a conversation with her and see if
Did they exchange like phone numbers?
No, they didn't exchange phone numbers,
Wow.
which, by the way, they should have.
Okay.
Let's
Social,
get together.
Anything?
Let's go do something. Hey, I want you to meet my husband. How about we have dinner one time? Come on,
Do you
Katie.
listen to the radio?
Come on, right?
Do you want to go
drop? I'm not going to drop, but you drop.
You like go to Ocean City?
Do you want to see a Bussy concert?
Do you want to go
Yes.
to Ocean City?
Are you free?
I'm sure they're vacationing in the Maldives.
Yeah. They're heading to the Hamptons.
They've never been.
We own Ocean City.
Okay. Fast forward, I have yet to have the opportunity to go and now close the deal. The deal's ready to be closed. Okay. We're going to be friends with these guys.
ABC.
Yes.
Always
exactly.
be cuckolding.
So Katie goes, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. Frank and I are at Giant and I see her. She's looking at the produce section.
She's a health nut.
Frank walks right in front of her with his ass to her face and stands and blocks her view. And she turns around and rolls her eyes like, this motherfucker."
Oh no.
So Katie then has to walk away because she can't be seen being the person, right? Who's that rude?
That just stink faced this woman.
Yes.
That's usually your role.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Eric or Frank.
Yes.
Are the people that are going to give you pink eye while you're looking at rutabagas.
So now,
it's the Frank prank show.
You've
been Frank.
There's
such a Frankster.
There's a small degree of concern that you're going to recognize Katie, don't you think?
Yes.
If you meet her, you're going to recognize her because Katie recognized this lady. And if somehow, and I don't exactly know whether or not this lady knows that Katie is associated with this person.
You give me 100 guesses. I never predict where this story goes. where it hung the bad left.
Yeah.
I was predicting.
We know it's going to go bad.
I was predicting something like a dog snapping at another dog, or them finding out about what we do here and them not approving of our comedy.
Well,
not that Frank gave her pink eye.
Now here's the other thing.
Or they own the Kohl's where you took her shit.
Well, here's the other thing. So now Katie, obviously, when she talked to her, said, "Hey, my husband, he's older than me." They had this conversation because they talked. And, Frank looks better than me.
Okay.
So it's possible that she thinks that this dick is her husband.
Oh, no.
See what I'm saying?
You have to introduce now.
I have to go in there and go, "Hey, I'm not that guy."
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not the person.
It's not me.
I'm not Frank.
I'm not the guy. I'd never put my asshole in your face while you're inspecting cabbage.
Anyway, the point is, Frank, if I had an opportunity to befriend these people,
I think you can save this. What time of the morning? If she's a runner, she probably has a routine.
You know what? Here's the deal.
Max says you would have put your ass in her face and shit in it.
So here's the thing. So
bit of a deal killer.
Katie and I, every morning, one of us walks the dogs.
Okay.
Okay. Because Katie was almost abducted, I am walking the dogs more often than she is. So I probably not a whole lot more because I also do radio. So she has to walk them on those days.
Katie faked the whole abduction thing just to get you to do more chores.
Brilliant. But it's probably 50-50 the amount of times that we walk them.
Okay.
I've never seen this woman. I've never seen her other than the time when I saw her halfway up her driveway. And again, people that are listening, halfway up her driveway is an eighth of a mile. Okay, it's halfway up her driveway. Okay, so halfway up her driveway is when I see her playing with her golden retriever. It's the only time I've ever seen her. Katie's the one that saw her face to face. I've never even had an opportunity to go, "Hey, let me introduce myself." I haven't had an opportunity.
All right.
I have with the neighbors, the next ones, the ones with the gates.
It'll happen.
And then the ones with the gates sold the house, and I met that person. I met the previous owner and the new owner. I've yet to meet this owner.
What if Justin and I happen to meet this woman? And for whatever reason, we are particularly charming. And she sees us walking out of the house, get into a car. Do we just say we're the husband? Do we just
So they're going to know eventually.
No, we'll just have to keep it going.
I see you've met my beautiful bride, Caitlin, walking our gorgeous dogs, Oscar and Olive. You'll have to excuse me. I just provided her with her morning cunnilingus.
No, you're going to have
I'm
to.
heading off for fresh baguettes.
You would have to
We're
talk me
vacationing
up.
together.
Yes.
So, by the way, speaking of so one more story about my dad.
Speaking of cunning,
Okay. So,
or your dad or her dad?
About my dad.
Okay. Yeah, definitely kind of
Okay. I'm going to show you a text. Okay.
Oh, no.
Now, this text is from the.
Hold on. Katie's in chat says, Joe says he's walking the dogs more often than me, but that it's also 50-50.
It's 50. It's 50-50.
The math ain't math.
Yes.
I mean, she was also absconded with by a man.
There is a woman who is the head nurse at my father's.
The head nurse in charge.
The head nurse in charge of
HNIC.
of the retirement community where my father lives.
Nurse.
New show title.
I know how you feel about nurses.
On Friday at 10:18 a.m., this is the text she sends me.
Get us flagged. Okay, I'm not gonna.
The last one. Just the last one.
Oh shit.
That's what she sends me.
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Now my father, who's 81,
Oh no.
constantly falling down the
You
stairs,
never want that.
also acting inappropriate.
That's not a good time to get that.
She
text.
sends me a text. It says, "Call me now."
Not like call me when you can.
It doesn't say
now,
please.
Call me now.
Now is a sense of urgency for sure.
Oh, dear.
It doesn't say please.
Not
It
when you
doesn't say-
can or when you're free. Now.
So
Let's call it right now live on the air.
Right now.
so now, by the way,
Call her.
she called me, and I didn't pick up. Okay, and then she sent me that. I'm like, oh, he's dead.
Oh,
he died. So I call. No, he has a loose tooth. He has some pain. Now, I'm like, that is
Fucking loose tooth.
right. That's not the text to send, right?
No,
Right.
no.
So I call her. I go. So I'm so put off by the fucking call me now.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight with her
No,
because I feel like that's
your
gonna.
father is under her care, so you got to swallow some of this shit.
But I don't. Okay.
Not, I didn't say all of
Okay.
it.
No.
Some of it.
I go, hey, listen. She goes, he has a loose tooth and he's asking me for Tylenol. I go, listen.
It really
listen.
freaked me out.
I go, listen. First of all, my sister and I are dealing with his dental, this thing. We know his teeth are falling out. We're getting his teeth removed. We're going to get him dentures. We're doing that. If you think there's an emergency, then and the dentist is there, do whatever you feel like you need to do. I give you the authority to do that. But let me tell you something else. Do not send me a text that says call me now.
Okay. And,
Don't do that.
in her defense, if he was dead, she's not going to text you. Look at emoji. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to call.
She's just going to send a
But she
crying
did
face
call.
emoji, a
Okay.
little skull
Okay,
emoji.
So she tried to call me. By the way, it might even be worse. Maybe he had a heart attack. Right?
yeah.
That seems like, hey, you're not picking me up, but you need to call.
It's whatever
You need to
has
call me.
happened is need to be handled in the immediacy, not a loose tooth.
So my father, he has a loose. I don't know how many teeth he has left, but we're
Are
really.
you in single digits at this point?
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes, we are definitely in
You can
single
count
digits.
them? Okay.
You can definitely count them. So
What's
we're
that?
gonna deal with
Do you
it.
have, do you have a favorite tooth of his?
But here's
What's that mouth smelling like?
Oh,
That's
Let me
got to be
tell
a
ya.
situation.
Well, I think I already told you the story about when they told him he had to brush his teeth in the morning at night, and he says, "Why do I need to brush my teeth in the morning? Because I don't eat anything at
it's
night."
a
Okay,
very fair.
That's
So
got to
he
smell
said-
like a dry
Yeah.
pipe.
so he said that. But let me tell you something that I realized because I said this to my dad. So they're going to give him new teeth. Okay, they're going to give him new
Hey,
teeth.
rent, don't buy.
They're going to give him new teeth, and then he's on for 60 days. He's on a special diet where he's eating cream corn
He's
and
gonna
he's
love
eating
that.
applesauce and he's drinking milkshakes and there's nothing
Orange crushes.
right. By the way, you know how he loosened his tooth? He was eating corn on the cob. He
Eating
has no
corn.
respect, right? Right. And I go, Dad, listen, this is going to be coming. He goes, well, they'll tell me what to do. I go, Dad, but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
this is going to be a several $1,000 thing.
You're about
right?
to have some smooth movements.
And I said, let me tell you something else, Dad. How long has he been chewing nicotine gum? How long?
The tooth ain't the only thing is going to be loose.
Yeah. Oh,
How long?
God,
How long has he been chewing nicotine gum?
20 years.
30 years.
Been chewing it for 40 years.
Oh,
Okay.
Jeez, I didn't know it existed that.
I
Now,
thought you did that, got off cigs, and then stopped chewing the gum.
how if he wakes up at 6 and he goes to bed at 7,
Okay.
how many of those hours is he chewing nicotine gum?
All of them.
every hour.
He
literally takes a piece of gum out, he sets it down, he puts it back in his mouth, and it runs out of flavor. He gets another piece, and he chain chews.
Have you ever chewed nicotine gum? Taking a piece?
So let me tell you a story. There's a very, very close buddy of mine who might be a fan of this show.
Okay.
And his name might start with that,
Got
and then
it.
that, and then that. Okay.
Got it.
Oh, we're on. You know that, right?
Hey.
Okay. So, and he sent for my dad a bunch of nicotine gum. He has, and they're big. I can't remember. I think it was like 2 million. I don't remember what it was, but
the big league chew.
It's double what my dad used.
You know your dad's gonna be eating a crunchy as shit when he's got these things.
Yeah.
I popped one of those pieces of gum in my mouth, and I chewed that thing for 3 seconds. And oh my god, you couldn't do it.
Can't do it.
You couldn't do it.
I was given a piece. I was given a piece of this gum when I tried to pack a lip on the way to the Super Bowl, them full well knowing I would get nauseous. And then someone else like, okay, this will be easier. I want you to experience a nicotine buzz. Hubert, you know what you did. And same thing. I get nauseous immediately. The thought of chewing this from sun up to sundown it turns my stomach.
Well, what do you think? I promise you that, by the way, I don't chew gum. I don't. I would, but I don't. I'm not.
It's not a regular thing.
It's not a regular thing that I do. If somebody hands me a piece of gum, I'll chew it, but I don't regularly chew. But if you chew gum every day for 40 years, it will pull your teeth out.
It's going to start
every single day.
So this shit was the cause.
Of course.
I know people that smoke, and
he does that too.
He smokes and
so
he's a bit of a health nut.
He lifts his shirt up, nothing but nicotine patches, forming a t-shirt underneath it.
So
I love William Morris.
After I got the text, call me now, I called her. I know, deal with it yourself. We pay enough that it's your problem.
Dumb bitch.
Then I didn't realize. I looked the next day. I have 3 missed calls from my father. I'm like, huh.
Okay.
So I don't call. I go over there, and as I'm getting out of the car, he's on his walk because he walks and he smokes his cigars. Right?
What's his brand of cigarette?
He goes, it's like a.
It's got to be like Lucky Strikes.
No. It's a cigar. It's a mini cigar that he smokes. Okay. And he's walking on the path or whatever. He goes, Joe, which I can't believe he saw me from that far.
Yeah.
And I walk over there, and he's over there. He's smoking a cigar. He's in between. He's going to immediately start chewing gum when he's done that, right? and I walk with him, okay? So he takes his cigar when he's done. He fucking throws it in the lawn.
Bat baller.
All right.
He throws it in the lawn.
Nice dry lawn.
I go, Dad.
Burns the whole goddamn establishment down.
Dad, what are you doing? You can't just throw your shit for somebody. He goes, no, somebody else does. He goes, Walter comes and he grabs it.
Walter.
I go, who's Walter? He goes, he's another resident here.
This is the guy I made.
I go, wait a second. Wait a minute.
Wait, what?
Another resident is cleaning up his shit.
Yeah.
So my father is literally.
Because he cares about the community, Walter.
What was next to the cigar that I picked up out of the lawn from my father threw? Another cigar that he had already thrown in there.
Yuck, dude. Walter doesn't exist. Walter's not real.
Well, no, I believe he is, but also
I think it's a nicotine hallucination.
This guy must fucking hate my dad.
He does.
He hates him because obviously he's got a little bit of a concern about the world. And my father clearly has no concern.
Doesn't give a fuck.
He's literally like, fuck you. Somebody else will clean up my mess. And he throws
We got to
shit.
fashion him. He has enough gaps in his teeth. We got to put, because they look like little chiclets. I've seen.
Yeah.
Nicotine. We put them in his gum line to form an all new set of nicotine gum teeth.
Yeah.
The way you do with chiclets back in the day. How much I would love to know. I am doing my best. And by best, I mean nothing at all. To cut back on my caffeine intake. Because I realized that between a Celsius, which is 200,
like those,
a 5 hour, which can be 220 to 280 that I pour in water, an iced coffee in the afternoon that might be 80. I'm hovering around 500 milligrams of caffeine.
It seems like a lot.
It's not good. I get little headaches. What is his nicotine intake?
Well,
the amount of nicotine, like you might as well just give him fucking Zen packs
at
this point.
I think he
Slap
has
a patch on his ass.
You know how when you have like when I was in pain, if you're in such pain, sometimes they just have a morphine drip.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Non-stop
he never.
nicotine.
You know what he does when he wakes up in the morning?
Immediately grabs a piece.
He starts chewing gum.
Immediately.
What are you going to do for Father's Day?
When is Father's Day?
It's usually in the middle of June.
It's like what, 16th or something?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I don't know. I guess nicotine gum.
Let's give him a gift basket of the most cigarettes we've ever seen. Let it be. What is his brand of cigar?
Katie goes, smells like nicotine spirit.
That's
Brittany
yeah.
goes show
I
title.
don't know,
Pretty
but
good
there
show
is
title.
somebody who does know his brand that's in chat.
Brittany says she does love a good cigar. I hope Clinton's your favorite president.
But he doesn't smoke. He smokes the little cigars that are essentially
cigar
cigarettes.
loaves.
Brittany
and-
likes a big, thick cigar.
a big, thick, fat cigar with a
Yeah,
knuckle.
That's what she
Here it
likes.
is. It's
Hell
called. There it is. Undercrown. That's what he smokes. Undercrown.
Do they make like grape and fruit juice
Mhm.
flavor?
No. This is like
orange?
he loves tobacco.
I was
And he
gonna say,
loves nicotine.
Were these things sold at a place where they sell Everfresh juice?
Are you
Can I get
guys?
my checks cashed there?
Are you guys? Were your parents smokers?
Mom was, dad wasn't.
Oh my God! Well,
Merit Ultra.
When I
Lights.
was a baby, then the story goes that my dad saw me smoking a cigarette, and he decided he was going to quit.
that's what it did because my dad did not care about that. It was nothing to do
Didn't
with
give
it.
a shit.
Yeah.
I never smoked, but my father smoked Salem menthols. That's what he smoked. And when I was growing up, he chain smoked.
As he's selling life insurance.
Yeah. And there was just a haze constantly in our basement of just smoke. It just stayed there.
Oh, dude, you look at the drop
Yeah.
ceiling in my grandmother's house. It was that white panel you could just easily push
Yellow.
up. Yellow, butter yellow.
Yeah.
We used to smoke on
Buttery.
planes. How crazy would that
There
be?
used
But
to
no,
be
but you had to be in the
ashtrays.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to be because smoke doesn't travel. I always love that. Oh, this is the smoking section. Smoke's like anywhere I am.
What
is
if
the
you're
fucking
one
section.
seat in front of it?
Oh, fine.
Doesn't
Thank
count.
God there's only smoke 8 feet from me.
I remember seeing that we had a grocery store called Grand Union, and
Mhm.
in the middle of every single aisle there was a goddamn ashtray. And I remember my mom using it quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
As my mom is buying Ore-Ida fries, fucking Asha. I remember her sending me to the store with a note. I'm
I
like,
told you
I'm
that.
like 9.
That I've told that. When I would lived in Cheverly, so that means I was 7 or younger, my father would write me a note that said, please sell this kid cigarettes. And think about this. Can you imagine letting even Evan, who's older than I was, just go to the corner and go to the convenience store and then walk back?
No.
He can't even go to the kitchen by
He
himself.
can't make it to the if I asked him to go to the mailbox, I never see him.
My father would just send me to be as soon as somebody saw me, and I was a cute kid.
Yeah.
He's fucking yoink me up, and I'm
Let's-
done.
Yeah, you're
we,
snatched up.
we got to roll. But James says, gentlemen, after all this time, the wife and the new baby girl are finally home. My DLP time is back now. Thank you for giving me an escape from reality for a small chunk of the
Oh
week.
hell yeah! You're
Our
welcome,
pleasure,
James.
Congratulations,
Congrats.
James. The best part of your life is over.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
congrats.
Drew Miller, by the way. Don't forget to
Got-
what's up, Drew?
congratulate him.
Got engaged. Excellent job, Drew.
I think he said he wants to have an all DLP wedding.
honeymoon.
Justin and I are gonna
Hell yeah.
gonna marry him.
Yeah,
You're gonna give the bride away. I don't know. I have
I
no
don't
No,
idea.
you marry
Sure.
him right away, prima nocta.
I'll do the first dance.
Hey, we appreciate it. New episodes up, DLP Patreon. Don't forget June 1st,
And the recast show.
the recast show. And again, Ram's Head on stage, Annapolis, 8 p.m. this Saturday, June 1st. It is The Answer is Murder. It's bar trivia. It's a murder mystery.
And we're going out after.
We're going out
Yes.
afterwards. It's a big ass family around town. It's supposed to be super nice. If you're buying 4 tickets, buy 8. Give them to friends. Fill that bitch up. We will talk to you next